Hey folks, this is Sean, and I have not done one of these videos in a while now. I've been focusing more on cooking videos, but I want to talk to you about coming out of rehab and facing rejection, because that is a huge trigger. Even if you don't recognize it as a trigger right now, if you're new to your first time going to rehabilitation, or maybe you've been in rehabilitation 9 or 10 times, and this is a trigger for you. Because when you come out, I mean, man, you're gonna face some tough stuff. When you're in rehab and you're clean and sober, you've been clean and sober for a little while, and you have got your natural energy back. You've got your natural mind back. You're thinking clearly again. You got your hopes and your dreams up again. And you've given, maybe you gave your life to the Lord. Maybe you went to a faith-based rehabilitation center. Maybe you're in jail or in prison, and man, you've been worshiping God. You're getting ready to hit a shock for some of you. Not all of you, but for some of you, when you get out, you're going to hit some rejection. You're going to hit an employer or employers multiple times over that tell you no. Or they won't even acknowledge your application that you're putting in. You might face it from family members that you dearly love, that all of a sudden they just quit talking to you. You get out and they're talking to you, you're building a relationship, and all of a sudden they just go quiet. They go silent, and you get the 2 or 3 letter texts, 2 to 3 word text messages from them, and they're brushing you off. They're pushing you to the side, and it really hurts. And it is. I'll tell you my own story. After I got out of rehab, I was real excited. Man, I was going to go out and I was going to burn up the world. I was going to burn it up with the gospel. I was going to burn it up with my work, either in sales or in management of convenience stores. Man, I was excited. And I am 7 months in to being clean and sober. 7 months from being out of rehab, rather. And I haven't been hired yet by an employer. Not one. Not one has acknowledged me. I get a couple of interviews every now and then. But then interviews, for some reason, I don't get the job. So that went on for about 4 months. So in August, I came across pressure washing. Now, I used to pressure wash a long time ago when I was young, for a rental company down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And I would pressure wash all the cabins, the driveways, the sidewalks, things that keep them top notch looking. And I had no idea you can make a living at it. So in August, I came across it again, and these guys were saying they're making a ton of money doing it. And so I study and study. So I spent all of August studying. I really did. About what I didn't know. And there was a bunch. There was a bunch I didn't know. Because when you go down to Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge and rent a cabin, typically you don't have $15,000-$20,000 worth of landscaping around those cabins. It's just woods, okay? But here in Lexington, Kentucky, where I live, you go pressure wash a $500,000 home. Typically, they have about a $20,000 landscaping job. And if you use the wrong chemical to clean their home, you can ruin $15,000 worth of landscaping. So your insurance better be really good, or you better know what you're doing. So I spent all of August studying what I didn't know. A lot of September. I start cleaning in September, start getting my gear together. And I cleaned in October and November, and it's now December, so my season's already over. So we're going to see how it goes next year. This has been a learning year for me, but that's what I had to do. Is I kept getting rejected from it by employer after employer after employer, and the rejection wasn't no, no, no. It was silence, silence, silence. No response, no response, no response. And then that's going to get to you. That's going to be a trigger. How in the world am I supposed to support my family? How in the world am I supposed to do this? How in the world am I supposed to do that? So I want to throw that out there to you. That's going to be a trigger for you. Come up with a way. Start writing it out. What you're going to do right now when that trigger hits. But I want to share a couple of scriptures with you that I hope will help you. And I got my old man glasses on. I gotta have them. But I want to share a couple of scriptures with you that I want, that way you know you're not alone. You're not the only one experiencing it. I experienced it. I still experience it. I experience it from employers, because I still try to get a regular paying job and not just focus on pressure washing and stuff like that, because I would like to have the benefits for my family. I would like to have the top-notch medical insurance for my family. I would like to have the top-notch retirement programs for my family, so on and so forth. You know, I would like to have those benefits and keep pressure washing on this as a side gig, and just to help bring in extra money. But we'll just see how the Lord plays out in that. I've not lost my faith in God. You know, this is not God's doing. This is Sean's doing. This is part of what I have to pay for what I did. You know, my drug of choice was alcohol. And the reason why I lost my career in sales was because I got a DUI. And here in Kentucky, you get a DUI and you're done when it comes to car sales. And I'm not going to say I was the best or this, that, and the other. I wasn't. I was good. You know, my customers loved me. I loved my customers. And that's why I made it in the sales industry. It was a good job for me. But here in Kentucky, they are very unforgiving when it comes to DUIs in the car industry. Insurance industry is just that way. They've made it that way for a little while now. So that's just something I have to pay for. I made the mistake of getting a DUI. I made the mistake of drinking out in public, and that was my own deal. So I have to accept that consequence and say, okay, I'm going to have to do something else now. You know, sales is over for me. So, you know, that's why I went into looking at doing different things that I could use my sales background. And pressure washing was one of those things. But anyway, let me share a couple of scriptures with you, because I don't want to take very long. In John chapter 1, verse 11. John 1, 11. 1, 1, 1. Remember that. John 1, 1, 1. All right. So you remember the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. 3. All right. John 1, 1, 1. 3. Okay. John 1, 11. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. Jesus was rejected by the people he came to. His own people rejected him. And if his own people rejected him, then my own people are going to reject me. Your own people are going to reject you when you get out of rehab. And I just want you to understand that. I want you to realize it. It's going to happen. and have this plan in place. Okay. And let me I'm going to go ahead and jump over to it. So if Christ was rejected by his own people, that means you can expect the same thing. You're trying to do better for yourself. What I'm trying to do in this video is trying to help you navigate that trigger, because it is going to trigger you, because you're going to get so mad. I did. 3 months in, after I got out of rehab and I haven't been hired anywhere, man, I am mad. I am frustrated. I'm throwing my hands up and I'm yelling at God and I'm going, what's the sense? Why did you save me just to come out and to be rejected by everybody, to be rejected by employers and be rejected by my family and all this other stuff, man? I was upset. I'm like, I got bills that need to be paid. I got child support that needs to be paid. I got, things I need to buy for myself. I need clothes. I need, I need soap and shampoo and toothpaste, And that's what happens when you come out, man. I'm not lying to you. I am telling you the God's honest truth. When I came out, it was up to me and me alone. And for a lot of you, it is going to be the exact same way. And you need to write that down as a trigger. And hey, what am I going to do about this trigger? And because it might be one you've experienced before, and it may not. So if you look at on the internet, just look it up. Look it up under rejection. Type in, what do you do about rejection? How can you handle rejection? Something of that sort. Because you need to come up with a plan for it right now. You really do. Because you're going to get rejected when you get out. And I don't want that to be a relapse trigger for you. It's going to be. But I want you to have a plan on how to handle that relapse trigger. All right. So it says, number 1, recognizing rejection in your life. You've got to start recognizing it. You're getting turned down. Or you're getting silent treatment from employers. You might be getting silent treatment from family members. You got to recognize the rejection when it comes, okay? Number 2, learn from taking risks. Sometimes you're going to have to reach out to people that you otherwise wouldn't have. You might have to reach out to a church pastor, a church period, somebody in the church to get help with a job or whatever the case might be. And sometimes you're going to get rejected. Sometimes they're just going to turn you down flat and say no. And then sometimes they're just going to give you the silent treatment and go, well, let me see what I can do. And you'll never hear from them again. I've experienced it. And it hurts. It really does. Avoid putting all your eggs in one basket. So this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier when I said I was looking for a regular job so I could have benefits for my family and have pressure washing on the side. Is because what led me into rehab is I was working for a corporation that laid all of us off at once in one division. They just got rid of us completely. And none of us had anything to fall back on. So you need to keep your finances spread out on how your finances come in. So in other words, have a regular job, but also have a side gig to where you got extra money coming in. Something that you're good at, something you enjoy doing, or whatever. Maybe you have a full-time job and a part-time job. But you gotta have some side money coming in. And the reason why I say that is I'm trying to avoid the financial trigger for you. I'm trying to help you avoid that. Talk to other people about getting rejected. This is why it's so important to stay connected. Stay connected when you get out of rehab. And if you live in 4 or 5 counties away, 2-3 hours away from where you went to rehab, or even further, and you come back home or whatever, connect with another group. Get immediately. That is your first priority. is to connect with another group in a town where you're going to be living, that and other people. That is your first priority, is to connect with them. Okay? When you get home, your job is secondary. I'm telling you, it is secondary to your long-term recovery. Your connection to other people that are in recovery is your number one primary thing that you need to do besides your church. You know, make sure you're connecting at church, but you've got to be around other people that are in recovery that are being successful, okay? And that's going to give you somebody to talk to. Talk to other people about getting rejected. I just now went into that one. So that way, when it's going on, you've got somebody to call. You can say, hey, you know, man, this is going on. Ain't nobody calling me back, or this, that, and the other. You've got somebody to talk to. And that goes into the next one, which gives you time to cool off. All right. That's number 5. You got to take time to cool off from that rejection from employers and family. That way you can stay successful in your recovery. Allow yourself to feel the emotions you feel. Rejection hurts. Okay? So just feel it. Okay, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. Man, I hate that I'm being rejected. I hate that they're not calling me. I hate that they don't want to talk to me. I hate this. Man, and feel it, but be honest and say, you know what? It's just going to take time. You know, especially when it comes to family. You're going to have to take the time to do it. And be patient, you know, and let them come around. One of my peer support specialists, he has been clean for, I think, 4 years, 5 years now. 4 or 5 years. And his oldest son still won't have anything to do with him. Not one thing. In 4 years of being clean and sober. And he is helping all these other guys. And he is doing all this great work. And his oldest son still won't have anything to do with him. My oldest son is the same way. You know, I've been sober for 7 months. And my oldest son still won't have anything to do with me. And that's okay. That's his choice, not mine. That's his. He knows I love him. He knows I'm here for him. If he needs anything. But I want to rebuild that relationship. And if he doesn't, that's his choice. And I have to respect that until he works through all those emotions. Okay? It ain't just my emotions that count. It's their emotions. So I've got to give him time to work through those emotions. So that's what I'm doing. I just allow him time to work through those emotions. And maybe, you know, one day in the future, he'll want to have something to do with me and I can be around him and his family. And that'd be a great thing. And number 7, surround yourself with supportive people. And that's where coming in when you're getting out of rehab and connecting immediately with a recovery group in the town that you're going to be living in. And start connecting, getting their phone numbers. You know, you got to get phone numbers, man. Exchange phone numbers. Find a sponsor in your local town. Somebody you can call. You know, whatever. Somebody you can hang out with. You know, you got to start hanging around good people. You know, people that are in recovery. I'm not saying people that are on drugs that are bad, but you got to stay away from that. You know, and don't try to help too soon. Helping too soon can hurt you, but. I have a beetle flying around in my house, and this is December. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you tonight, man, is that I hope that you guys can use this. It's something that's really dear to my heart, is helping you all and give you some pointers and giving you a heads up of what you're going to be facing. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them. But anyway, guys, I love you. You are stronger than what you believe, and you can do this. And I'll be praying for you.